Niantic has been having issues with some of their updates recently, causing a lot of backlash amongst the community, but this latest one is more than just people upset with how things are looking. It's actually causing game-breaking bugs for some players, particularly those who use Pokémon GO on Android devices. Pokémon GO's recent update has turned out to be a nightmare for fans, as many are unable to catch Pokémon at all due to the glitches. That's not all either, as the frame rate issues have also made it extremely difficult for players that take part in the Pokemon Go Battle League, putting them at a significant disadvantage. And that's because there's an event going on during the game that you have to actually play during the Battle League in order to complete the event. And if these bugs are keeping people from doing that, well, then obviously that's a problem, putting aside the issue that they're not able to actually catch Pokemon in a game where that's pretty much the main point of the game, is just to go around and catch Pokemon. Pokemon GO's World of Wonder season has received a vitriolic response from the community so far. While the season started off on a high with some exciting events, things have gone downhill in the past few weeks with the release of Pokemon GO's controversial avatar update. Not only are many fans still unable to make peace with the revamped avatars, it seems like yet another issue has cropped up in the game. And I'll touch on that controversy in a moment, but first, this game-breaking bug that's going around has been reported by people on the Pokemon GO subreddit. And in that, for people who want to play this game at 60 FPS, they have to click the options in the advanced settings of Pokemon Go app that enables them to use the native refresh rate on the phone. However, after this latest update, it's saying it's causing issues with the Pokeball when you're trying to catch Pokemon. After the update, this option seems to be causing a lot of glitches, with the Pokeball resetting at its original position at times, effectively making it impossible to catch Pokemon. Additionally, players highlight that they have been struggling to even hit Pokemon with their Pokeballs after the update, with excellent curveball throws in Pokemon Go going outside the screen completely. Some players have found workarounds for this by saying if you just turn off the use native refresh rate option in the Pokemon Go app, then things should work again. Other players don't want to necessarily play the game with that type of gameplay, so they say if you can keep that on, just don't update Pokemon Go to the latest version. Others are saying you can update to the latest version, you can keep the native refresh rate on. You just have to go into the refresh rate in your device's settings and change that. So it says, for instance, here, if it goes up to 120 hertz refresh rate, then you drop it down to 60. Other people are saying 60 doesn't necessarily work if that's the max setting on their phone or whatever device that they're using. So you have to drop that down. Basically, you just can't use the max refresh rate on your device and you should be fine. This is something that I think is going to be addressed by Niantic, because this does seem like it's just a bug that they're going to have to work through, and a patch will probably be released at a later date in order to fix this. What does remain to be seen, though, is what they're going to do with the whole avatar thing, because that's another recent update that a lot of people are upset about. I don't know for sure what the backlash was for Pokemon Go or for Niantic. I know they had some big community days coming out since then, and supposedly a lot of people weren't spending money on that or weren't participating in the numbers that they used to participate in. Niantic has said that they've actually heard this criticism and they're going to address it at a later date. We don't know what that means, but a lot of people are asking for refunds because they spent a lot of actual money on buying cosmetic updates and other things like that they're no longer going to be able to use because the way they changed the avatars, it just doesn't work for it. So it's possible Niantic will kind of reverse course on this, because they have reversed course on unpopular decisions in the past once they get a lot of community backlash. Most notably, during the whole pandemic era, they increased the distance that you could interact with Pokestops and gyms and other things like that. And after things started settling down, they kind of went back to how things used to be. But a lot of people didn't like it because they've grown accustomed to the new changes and they like that a lot better than how things were. So they went back to how things are, and that's the way it is now, where you can interact with Pokestops and gyms and other things like that from a further distance. So they have shown in the past that they are willing to listen to the community. It's just a matter of whether they're willing to listen to the community on issues like that whole avatar changes, because a lot of people think there's malicious motives behind these changes. It wasn't just sheer incompetence on the part of the company. They were trying to push some type of agenda with it, and a lot of people seem to be unresponsive to it. So who knows whether it's actually going to cause any permanent changes moving down the line. But one thing is for sure, they need to get their act together there, because making unpopular changes for the game and then causing game breaking bugs like this really just goes to show that they're not hiring the right people over at the company. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Have you experienced this issue? I use an Android device and it hasn't been a problem for me, but that's maybe because my device is old, so I don't know if that's really going to be a problem with it. But I'm curious what other people have to say. And also, what do you think about the avatar changes? Are you just kind of turned off from the game as a result of that, or are you just like, yeah, it is what it is? And if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest in entertainment news. And don't forget to like and share the video because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.